The Health and Human Services Secretary, Tom Price, has some pretty concerning beliefs. So Eric Iyer of the Charlotte Gazette-Mail reported on this, and this is from this week. Here's what he said. Asked about drug treatment options, Price touted faith-based programs while showing less support for medication-assisted programs in which addicts are weaned off heroin with other opioids like Suboxone and methadone. Quote, if we're just substituting one opioid for another, we're not moving the dial much, he said. Folks need to be cured so they can be productive members of society and realize their dreams. Okay, the Health and Human Services Secretary is a moron. Look, I know somebody who was addicted to painkillers. And what happened was they tried, they couldn't get off it. And they couldn't find the solution. Willpower, cold turkey, it said that didn't work for them. Just didn't work. Maybe it works for some small percentage of people, fine, but it didn't work for them. What they ended up doing is they went to a doctor who was ahead of their time, because I'm going years back now, and the doctor knew of what is effectively the cure. The cure is a pill called Suboxone. They mentioned it here. Now, technically, it works on the same receptors in your brain as the opioid pills do, or the opiates do. And so it satiates the addiction without you being really high. And you can become a productive member of society and do what you want. And all you got to do is take, I think it's 1 pill or 2 pills a day, like 1 in the morning, 1 at night. Now, we're talking about people who previously, they were taking fucking 30 OxyContin or oxycodone a day. Just hopelessly addicted, doctor shopping all over the place. Just trying to get that fix. But now you get a prescription from a doctor to get 1 pill or 2 pills a day, and you're fine. And you can go about your business, you go do your work, you're not laying, behind an Arby's somewhere next to a dumpster. So we're talking about a medical cure for a real medical problem of addiction. And the jackass who's the Health and Human Services Secretary, the leader, he goes, he touted faith-based programs and said, no, I don't believe in like Suboxone for treating opioid addiction because, hey, you're just substituting 1 pill for another. We're not moving the dial much. So in other words, he's one of those people who he has his conclusion before he looks at the evidence. His conclusion is no medical treatment. So let me give you another example. There are people who are alcoholics and nothing helps them, nothing works, but there's this pill. I forget the name of the pill. It might also be an antidepressant as well, but you take the pill and it makes it so that if you drink alcohol, you get violently sick. Now, that has worked with many people where all they have to do is take that pill and then they know it's negative reinforcement. I can't have the alcohol or I'll be violently sick. I'd rather not be violently sick, so I'm good. He would look at that and look at it with scorn. Like, no, you must go to Jesus. You must go to God. You must use willpower. That's what you have to do. So in other words, don't use any empirically proven medical treatments to help you and fix you. Instead, willpower, buck up and turn to God. That's what an idiot says. That's what a moron says. That's what an unscientific buffoon says. And that's who's now the Health and Human Services Secretary. I can't tell you how bad that is. This is the equivalent of having like a fucking flat earther making decisions about space, or space policy. Space policy, that's a weird thing to say, but I think you get the point. That's just like having somebody who doesn't believe in evolution making decisions about antibiotics. That's what this is. This is a guy who's a Health and Human Services Secretary, and he's not. Now we know there's going to be no investment in, medical cures for addiction issues. It's just going to be, hey, buck up, 12-step program, shut the fuck up, which, by the way, they have a very low success rate. Hey, if you used a 12-step program and it worked for you, more power to you, I'm happy it did. But overall, it has a low success rate, so we need something more. And this guy's snubbing his nose at all the shit that actually works because, I don't know, you're substituting 1 pill for another and it's bad enough. Yeah. Profoundly idiotic and disturbing.